Welcome back. So let's take a breather from politics now and delve and dive into the beautiful and colorful world of Nollywood that continues to unfold in many beautiful ways. And this time we're celebrating a beautiful transition from content creation into movie. And the masterminds behind this big deal here with us on the program. They join us from our Abuja studio. Let's welcome Moike Oyaogbezina, actor, comedian, content creator. And right beside him there, we also have Moses Jonah, a movie director. Gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us. Welcome to the Morning Brief.
Good morning. Thank you very much.
Beautiful. I'm glad that you can hear me. I'm going to start with you, Moike. What's the message from the Husbands Association of Nigeria? How are you guys doing?
Well, we are very, very fine. We are very fine. We thank God. I wasn't expecting that. I didn't know you've seen it.
Well, I'm representing the other side now, and I'm wondering if you've forgiven all the wives for all the sins that they've committed against the association. We're going to repent and do better. But let's go straight into it now. Moike, tell us about Akate, the movie, the message, and the relevance for this time. I wonder if you can hear me. Can you hear me, Moike?
All right. Well, I think we're having a bit of an issue, but maybe we'll take a look at some of the things they've done. I think if you follow Moike properly, you see him on the social media. If our producer is ready with some of the work they've done, and then we'll come back to them as we sort out that audio challenge. Just a moment. Stay with us. All right. So I've seen a lot of people I'm familiar with. I know their skit name. I really don't know their real name. But at least Charles and OJ is there. With some Maleke there, it looks like a galvanization, a conglomeration of a lot of actors from Benin City, and you can see the feel of the language as well. Let's go to Moses. Mike, we'll come to you in just a moment. Let's see whether we can get better conversation in terms of the audio quality with Moses. Moses, tell us about why comedy is important at this time.
In the early 90s and 2000. And recently, I found out that we don't have that genre of filmmaking again in our space. Most of them are skits, and the likes of Ukwa, the likes of late Mr. Ibu, it's almost gone, that the Gen Z generation only see comedy as a skit. And it's high time we bring this relief to a lot of Gen Z to see that comedy is beyond skits. Because these days when you talk to Gen Z, let's go to cinema and watch film, they say, skits, 3 minutes, I've watched skits and I've laughed and I'm okay, so there's no need for that. So presently, we really need to bring back comedy, full-time comedy. And that was why we had to align those, the Gen Z generation of skit makers and the veterans of the Charles Inojes and the going to the sets to be able to give a transition and a merge between the two generations. So comedy is very important in our present-day filmmaking.
All right, Zina, let's talk to you. I saw the Charleses, Inoje, Awurum. I think the person I was trying to remember his real name is Pluto. I watch him on TikTok. I like TikTok a lot. So how did it feel now putting this together in a proper full-length movie? And how, we always ask that question about how challenging. Was it really challenging for you, given the fact that you've done this skit over and over? Was this just second nature, or there was a challenge in putting this together in terms of your character?
I think there is some level of difference between skit making and movie making. Because for skit makers, it's kind of short. So we are used to doing 3 minutes content, 5 minutes content. So we actually like it when it's short, because when you are doing skit making, you have to be consistent. You're dropping so many contents. You're dropping like 10 contents in a week, and it takes a whole lot of time. So before now, when they call us to come and do movie, because of the time it's going to take, we tend to run from it. But skit making has gotten to that point where it has gotten so much acceptance. You understand? And our fan base transcends from the young people to the old people. So it has gotten a very large acceptance. So as a result, we must do something that everybody can appreciate. You can do something that everybody will like. You understand? So that is why we had to take it to another level. And for proper movie, it requires some level of skill, some level of professionalism. We have to do, because most of the time in our skit making, we don't use scripts. But this time around, we have to use scripts. We have to learn a lot of production skills, the terminologies, and the whole system. You understand? But the difference may not be too huge, since sometimes skit makers, we call them, how do we put it now? We call them upcoming actors, because they already have the skill, they already have the acting skills, but just that there are some things, some basic knowledge about professional filmmaking that we don't have. But to me, it was a learning process for me, and I appreciate my director and my producer for helping me through the process. And most of my colleagues, they liked the process entirely.
So there seems to be a deliberate attempt to, change the appetites of the audience from consuming 3 to 5 minute skits to, whole movie with the same content in terms of, light-hearted comedy to make people laugh and forget their sorrow. So I'm bringing this to you now, Moses. Do you see the same transition? Do you see any challenge with the appetite of the audience in embracing bigger content in terms of comedy?
Yes, because most times I think the passion to do this started from those of us that travel very well on the highway. Sometimes we'll travel with these celebrities, these skit makers, the police officers and the security agencies. Like, I watch your skit, and like, how do we put this thing together like a film so that people can go to cinema and have a full fun of it? Because most times skit is almost, they don't end the way people want it to end, or they don't even have that enough space for people to enjoy more. So that's why we now said, okay, the whole of Akate is an assemble of all flangeous skits I had ever made. We had to put them together and make it like a film. So for comedy coming into the industry space is going to be a huge relief, especially when we have a society where everybody is seeing things in different directions. I feel comedy, as at when we started early days, when we were watching the likes, so I keep mentioning those comedians, those comedy films in the early days like Ukwa, Aki and Popo. It reunites a society. We were all reunited. You see, people of a community can just come and sit down and be gisting about comedy. But we don't do that with films these days. So comedy, I feel, it can stay very well in our society and help so much.
So let's go back to where we started from now. Talk to us briefly about the movie, the trailer we just saw now, and the relevance of the message to this time.
Okay, Akate is, like I always say, it's not just a movie, it's a movement. We tried to talk about the issues of irregular migration, especially from the host community of where we shot Akate. We shot in Edo State. And if you listen to the language very well, anybody from Edo who has friends from Edo State can really relate with the pronunciation, the use of language, even the location, the red soil and the building. We talk on issues of irregular migration, which the state government has been doing so much to see that irregular migration become an issue of the past. Then we also talk of the issue of cultism, we're making people laugh, but we're deliberately dropping messages. I think the last private screening we did in Benin, the Crown Prince was there, and he spoke enlighteningly about the messages that was passed through irregular migration, cultism, abuse, intimidation, and the issue of those who travel out of the country after many years. They come back, and at the end of the day, they feel cheated, they feel deprived, they feel like their effort was not celebrated. So Akate just came back home to enjoy what he has been sending money for, enjoy what he has been spending, and all of a sudden the whole city became so new to him, and there was a lot of challenge he could encounter. I think that's what we're just trying to explore, to make sure that people in diaspora can connect, people in Nigeria can connect, and people who intend to come to Africa or travel out can connect also.
And there's a lot of high-octane drama there in some of the scenes that we've seen, compelling. I'm looking forward to watching it already. But we must anchor at this point, and thank you. We've been talking with Emoike Onyeogbezina, actor, comedian. You know him more as King Zina, and the movie director as well of Akate. He has produced other movies, by the way, a long list of them, Moses Jonah. Thank you so much, gentlemen, for coming on the show.
Thank you very much for having us.